George Santos. This guy is hilarious to me. All right.
Mm.
So I was saying this earlier. Now more information has come out. George Santos was really no political experience, but he was uplifted by the GOP because the GOP, whether or not they want to admit it, they love their identity politics,
Mm.
no matter how incompetent somebody is. That's just the truth. If you're black, throw you out there. If you're gay, throw you out there. If you are willing to go on their side, which is a side that has a record of anti-blackness, anti-LGBT, anti-immigrant, this guy had the trifecta.
Oh
George
yeah.
Santos. He's gay. He's Latin. He's an immigrant. Now, come to find out, this resume that he had, it was lies, lies, and more lies, allegedly. But now, George, I'm trying to not. I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna carry on. I should be able to carry on. That's the damn it.
Yeah,
Anyway,
yo, come
George,
on.
baby, George. You hustle it, George. What are the girls around the way calling a stunt queen? You hustle it, and you didn't even get your stories right. But
Mm.
George went as far as Santos. He went as far to say that his grandparents survived the Holocaust, and why the Jewish folks got to be in it?
Why are
Why are
they
they?
in it?
Why are they in it? Well, you putting every narrative out there. It's like he just was just doing some fiction writing, just
He had
like
like
boom,
the
boom,
little
boom.
checklist.
Yeah. Let me just check everybody off so they will vote for me. But what's funny about it, similar to Herschel Walker and to some other folks, nearly every interview he was doing, it appeared he was bringing up all these identities. And this is
Mm.
why he's against, Marxism and socialism, as if we really have, as if we live under a socialist country. Like, it's just so crazy to me. So listen to a little bit of George Santos in an interview talking about his grandparents surviving the Holocaust. And this is why he knows the danger of, I guess, the Democratic Party.
The
Listen to this.
Democratic Party.
My grandparents survived the Holocaust. So these regimes of socialism, Marxism, they don't work.
Santos told voters his grandfather fled to Brazil after escaping the Nazis in Eastern Europe.
Fleeing Stalin's persecution, going to Belgium, finding refuge there, marrying my grandmother, then fleeing Hitler, going to Brazil. That's a story of perseverance.
A story of perseverance. Your story of perseverance is when you were in Brazil allegedly and stealing checkbooks from elderly people that your mother was working for. That's the story. That's the story, brother. That's the story. So, according to the Forward, which is a popular Jewish publication, they're saying that this is lies and more lies. Listen to
Mm.
this brief news brief from CBS.
Mr. Santos is accused of possibly misleading voters about having Jewish ancestry. His campaign website says his grandparents fled Jewish persecution in Ukraine, settled in Belgium, and again fled persecution during World War II. The Jewish publication, The Forward, investigated and found his mother's parents were born in Brazil, not in Ukraine or in Belgium. Santos's representatives have not responded to requests for comment.
The lies, the lies, the lies.
He threw Ukraine, Belgium. Why didn't you just go throw Rwanda in it? Throw Rwanda in it. Just can't you? What about
What
anywhere?
about Haiti?
Yeah.
Is that how you say
Just-
Haiti? That's how they said it in Wakanda Forever. Do you say Haiti or is it Haiti?
I say Haiti,
Haiti.
but
Okay.
I guess Haiti makes sense. Why stop there?
Yes.
Go all the way with it. Why not throw an Asian country in there? Throw North Korea in there.
Right.
My grandparents escaped Hitler's regime. Then they went over to North Korea. Then they went to Rwanda. And I mean, just why don't you just add it all in there? But it's interesting. He is the congressman elect,
Mm.
so technically he doesn't have to do anything. He doesn't have to step down. They're saying that the Ways and Means Committee, the Ethics Committee, they're probably going to investigate him, and we're going to see what's going to happen. But this is interesting. It's very interesting. And, being that we're in this political cycle now where people, and you see this more on the GOP side, I don't feel like I'm being biased here. People who have no political experience whatsoever, who have no receipts, who have no resume, they are managing to grift their way into power. And so while we can criticize Democrats, I know some folks said, why didn't Democrats do enough research, blah, 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 blah. I get that, but we have to think, why are grifters consistently being elevated in the GOP? Look at the lies and more lies allegedly around Trump. So this really is a GOP contagion. This guy should not have gotten this far. This guy shouldn't have gotten this far, but I just think but all he had to say was, I'm Latin, I'm gay, I'm an immigrant. And they said, that's the ticket, because he makes them feel better. He makes their voters feel better about their xenophobia, about their homophobia, about whatever issue they have. He was checking all the boxes. I guess he didn't want to throw black into it. I guess I'm a descendant of slavery. So but but it's not even a good grift. Like, you can't even, well, actually he got elected, so maybe I'm wrong. What are your thoughts, Reese?
Well, why did Jewish people get in? That's still what I'm confused about. Like, it wasn't enough to just be gay and Latin and immigrant. Like, why did you have to be basically the descendants of Holocaust survivors? Like,
right,
that's
so
a
ugly.
lot to put in there. That's not like a small thing to put in there. And then you going around telling the story, like telling this elaborate story, and there are elaborate stories that are truthful. It's just, was he trying to be funny? Is it like, what is wrong with you mentally? Because like, I would never, ever, ever imagine like faking something like that. That's bizarre. That's bizarre. So he's weird. This whole pathological liar trend that these Republicans have, I think it tracks, because there has to be something that's a disconnect for you to claim to have certain values and morals and priorities and vote the exact opposite way. I mean, they're all like, everything that they say they're for, they do the exact opposite of, except for, of course, the most hateful stuff. They try to execute on that, but you can't say you're pro-life and not be pro-food security, pro-housing security, pro-job security, pro-environment. Like they are, I'm sorry, I say pro, they're anti all of those things, So, I mean, there's always a disconnect with Republicans. So this tracks, but then it's just such a weirdly specific thing to lie about.
Yeah.
And then the fact that, like, who gonna check him? Like, who gonna check him? He's just another lying ass Republican. Okay,
exactly.
Join the club.
Exactly.
You have Jim Jordan. You have all these motherfuckers up in there. That's some straight up crazy ass lying people who do whatever it takes to get in power and stay in power. And their voters are like, well, how are you gonna vote in the Congress? And that's what's so crazy to me, because our voters are about how you make them feel, and the rhetoric and using the right words and slogans and signing on to this slogan. And
they gotta be the perfect candidate. If there's one flaw, baby, when good God, when Vice President Kamala Harris, what was it, when she said that she smoked weed or something like that, Lord have mercy, they would have thought it was an international controversy, regardless of her receipts in the Senate, regardless of her receipts, good God, we got to have the perfect candidate.
Right. But for them, it's like, who's gonna check them? That's why I'm trying not to become desensitized to this stuff, because it's like, okay, and another one. Like, everybody, it's always some shit with these people, and it don't amount to shit, really, except for Herschel Walker. Like, Herschel Walker, he just went way, way, way off the deep end. But it just seems like, I mean, we had the news about Trump getting a criminal referral. And granted, that's not an automatic thing. It's more so for like messaging purposes. But it just kind of was like a tree falling in the woods. Did anybody hear it? Like, it just seems like there's nothing that is going to check these people.
It's crimes in plain sight. And this is why, I have my book coming out, The Grift, on the downward spiral of Black Republicans. But when we think about black and brown people, or when we think about people who are framed to be, who are used in the Republican Party as otherism or the enemy, this is why it's so dangerous when you have somebody. George Santos is a hustler, allegedly. So I'm sure he knows what he was doing. Like folks said, Herschel Walker didn't know. He's being taken advantage of. Not being taken advantage of. He knew what he was doing. George probably knew, I'm kind of broke here. I'm struggling a little bit. I need a job. Okay, so I'm Latin. I'm gay. Let me just say these things, and I can give them cover. I can make them feel better, and I'll get ahead, and I'll get donations, and I'll get money, and whatever the case may be. And this was his second time running for Congress. He ran in 2020, so he was looking for a way in there. He was looking for a way in. And the truth, what's really sad, is he won't step down. Probably won't release a statement, or he'll just blame the left, whatever the case may be. And then if he gets in Congress, imagine how he's going to vote. Imagine what he's going to do. He is a willing tool.
Yeah.
He's a willing tool. There should be some kind of ethics of you getting caught in this many lies. But hey.
This is America, the land of the grift, okay? So it ain't shit gonna happen to him. If you are shameless, the sky's the limit for you.
Absolutely.
The sky is the limit. You can go and be whoever you want to be. It don't even have to be true. You don't have to be qualified. It does not matter. I'm not advocating for that. I'm just saying the evidence shows that.
Wait a minute. George Santos released a statement.
What is that?
He posted this on Twitter. To the people of New York's 3rd District, I have my story to tell, and it will be told next week. I want to assure everyone that I will address your questions and that I remain committed to deliver the results I campaigned on: public safety, inflation, education, and more. Happy holidays to all. Unquote. Next week. These lies are coming out now.
Anytime somebody says, I have a story to tell and I'm going to tell it at some future date, they lying like a motherfucker. Because if you had the truth to tell, you would clear it up right away.
You'd be out.
You're like, let me just get one final story together. No, that ain't adding up. I love the theme music. I love the little violin. That was a nice touch.
Yeah, George Santos. So.
Oh, but did you see that he, he's saying that he's gay, but he divorced a woman. Did you see that part?
Are you serious?
Yes, that was one of the things too. Like he hid that he had a divorce from a woman. Now you could have gotten divorced because you were gay,
absolutely, without a doubt.
He didn't. That wasn't. He's having all these other elaborate stories. Why not throw that in there?
Oh my gosh. Okay, I want to hear from her, the divorcee. Where is she?
Well, I want to know.
She's the one who needs to talk. I know she got some stories. I know George got some family. And if he's gay and in New York, I know there's some folks around the way who know him. Y'all, you better be careful. Them gay boys going to start talking about you, George Santos. Them gay boys go, hold up now. He's a hustler.
Oh, because he says he's been openly gay for a decade, but he divorced a woman in 2019. So the math ain't math. I'm just doing the math. The math don't math on that.
Well, you know what? It's poetic justice for the close to the GOP in 2022. That this is their walk.
Oh yeah,
this is how they do. This just makes perfect sense that a big scandal, and it's become a national scandal. It is somebody in the GOP got exposed for incessantly lying. Hey, ain't that America?